So the U.S. dollar death spiral. The crisis fears grow after Bank of America issues a shocking $1 trillion every 100 days warning amid a huge Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and crypto price boom. This is from Forbes. They all know what's going to happen. The fiat currency, the monetary system to which it runs off of, it's going to collapse. It's going to crash. You and I all know this. They've been speaking of this dollar crash. The debt cycle for the United States has been long coming. Now, the only problem that I see is that many people are talking about it, but no one has a surefire way of knowing when it's going to happen. Have you noticed that? They all show us these charts. They all show us the debt increasing massively for the United States. They say it's going to happen within the next decade. They say it's going to happen within the next 20 years. It's going to happen within the next 5 years. But we continually see this ball and chain rolling on and on and on. My question to you is, what will it take for this to finally collapse? What will it take? What will it take? Other countries to not accept the US dollar anymore? Would it be another war? What do you think it will be? Something has to prick this massive debt bubble that the United States has accumulated ever since its founding. And to me, it could be a plethora of things, and many things can happen at the same time to make other countries not accept U.S. debt. They don't want to buy their bonds anymore. How fast do you think that can cascade the daily lives of the American people? Could it happen overnight to where the day before a price of bread could have cost $2.99 to where the next day it could cost $10? Do you think that's something that's possible? Because if it is, now is the time to prepare. Now is the time for you to go ahead and get your house in order so that you won't be majorly impacted by this debt crash, by this death spiral. That is the reason why this article from Forbes is going into how Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and many other cryptocurrency have seen a massive boom. Money is on the move. And if the debt of America is going to continually increase $1 trillion every 100 days, that is quickly accelerating the impact of what's going to happen in the future. Because sooner or later, the nations of the world won't buy U.S. debt anymore. So where do you think people are going to place their wealth? Because right now, according to Forbes, it looks like they're trying to place it in cryptocurrencies. Is that something that you're going to do? Or are you going to continue to keep your wealth in a fiat monetary system? It's time for one to get prepared, because the writing has already been written on the wall. And one thing that no one cannot say is that they didn't know, that they didn't have time to prepare, because there's been ample amount of time for all people to get prepared. All nations eventually go to zero, especially off of a monetary system with nothing backing their dollars, their currency. Bitcoin, alongside the wider Ethereum, XRP, and cryptocurrency market, has rocketed higher over the last year, with some forecasting an even bigger Wall Street wave coming. So this is just the tip of the iceberg. Once Wall Street sees that every 100 days, U.S. debt accumulates $1 trillion, many of these asset managers, they're going to do their research and figure out, okay, where can we place our wealth? Where can we keep that impact from really impacting how much money we can keep? So this is just the beginning, according to Forbes, for the cryptocurrency space. The Bitcoin price has topped $60,000 per Bitcoin, making it a $1 trillion asset again. While the combined Ethereum, XRP, and crypto market is well over $2 trillion market cap, triggering a serious warning of massive collateral damage. See all the fear mongering that's going on within this article? Is it justified? Is it needed to get people to act and move? Now, as new emails reveal staggering clues to the true identity of mystery Bitcoin creator Satoshi Nakamoto, Bank of America, the analysts there have warned that the United States debt load is about to ramp up to add $1 trillion every 100 days, fueling a Bitcoin price surge. What else is going up in price? Because if you can see any other assets outside of debt, outside of the US bond market, that's where the money is going. So this article is talking about Bitcoin. Yes, we've seen the price in Bitcoin, but where else is assets prices increasing? Have you seen gold? Let's take a look at gold. Here's a chart right here, real quick. Let's go ahead and look at gold. Another asset that is increasing. These are flights to safety. When there's unquestionable doubt as to how safe is the current economy, the money flees to propose or presumed safe assets like gold, like Bitcoin. So we can see assets increasing even in the midst of uncertainty. While many people may tell you that a crash is going to occur, yes, other stocks, bonds, they will go down in price. But always know that there's a market somewhere that is trending up. And right now, those markets look like it's in gold and cryptocurrency. Quote, the U.S. national debt is rising by $1 trillion every 100 days. Michael Hartnett, chief strategist of Bank of America. This is what he wrote to his clients that was seen by CNBC. Adding, it's little wonder debt debasement trades closing in on all-time highs, gold and Bitcoin. Hartnett predicted the newly created spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds that have taken Wall Street by storm over the last month are on course for a blowout year, in part because of the collapse of the US dollar. These analysts who work on in these financial institutions, this is what they're writing to their clients. So when we get access to a sneak peek of what they wrote, we need to take note of it. Because a lot of inside communication is going on between asset managers and their clients that you are not privy to. So he's already letting us know that with this Bitcoin spot ETF approval, it has opened up the floodgates for these asset managers to place their clients' funds in an asset called Bitcoin. Maybe this was all done on purpose to allow these rich billionaires to place their funds in an intangible asset that is freely movable, that cannot be restricted and held by a centralized authority. Maybe that's why the SEC was forced to approve this spot Bitcoin ETF. Already, BlackRock's ETF, IBIT, the largest new spot Bitcoin ETF, has this week eclipsed $10 billion in assets under management by Fidelity's FBTC, has raked in $6 billion already. And the spot Bitcoin ETF was just recently approved in January. And these ETF funds already have assets under management of billions of dollars. Now, quote, talking about the Wharton Business, this was on March the 4th, an update. Wharton Business School finance professor Yo Gnomes, I guess I pronounced that right, has warned spiraling U.S. debt could plunge the U.S. into a financial crisis as soon as next year. They're doing their research. Yeah, schools, professors, analysts, people on Wall Street, they all are paying attention to what's going on in the economy, and they do it continually. Now, he's looking for it to occur as soon as next year. So from his perspective, we don't have that much time to get prepared. Quote, it could derail the next administration, frankly. This is what Gnomes told Fortune. If they come up with plans for large tax cuts or another big fiscal stimulus, the markets could rebel. Interest rate could just spike right there, and we will have a crisis in 2025. It could very well happen. I'm very confident by the end of the decade, 2030, one way or another, we will be there. End quote. Forbes also mentions last month the Black Swan author Nassim Taleb said he believes the U.S. economy is in a death spiral. As long as you have Congress keep extending the debt limit and doing deals because they're afraid of consequences of doing the right thing, that's the political structure of the political system. Eventually, you're going to have a debt spiral, Taleb said at an event. It was reported by Bloomberg, and a debt spiral is like a death spiral. This doesn't end well. Like everyone is talking about, this doesn't end well. It's going to trigger a collapse. It's not going to last. This is a death spiral. Everyone is blasting alerts and signs and warnings, telling everyone to get prepared for this. Are you prepared? Genevieve Rose Decter, a former asset manager who writes the Grit Capital newsletter, posted on Twitter right here. This doesn't end well. Look at the debt of the United States government. You're telling me every 100 days, you're going to add $1 trillion to 34.38 trillion already in assets. I mean, not assets, but in debt. This was posted on Twitter on March 1st. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about is with Taleb saying that the political cycle, the system of these politicians simply extending the debt limit and not trying to rein in control of the debt could also trigger the collapse. Are you prepared? That is the question. Because looking at Bitcoin, take a look. It is nearing all-time highs already on the 3-month chart. Look at that. You won't have time to prepare. This is going to come swiftly, quick, and fast. It's giving you a heads up now. Because sooner or later, these prices will be so astronomical that you won't be able to even afford it. Give me your thoughts. Let me go ahead and put on a price prediction before I go for Bitcoin. You guys can see that we didn't do it on our last video, but I think we can continue to see what the market wants to do in Bitcoin. We're going to create another buy zone. So you can see that the demand is just merely stair-stepping its way in Bitcoin. Okay. Here it is. Market in Bitcoin literally almost made all-time highs. So we're going to get rid of this sell zone here now, and we're going to create the all-time high sell zone for Bitcoin. Many people already got price predictions out for Bitcoin being around $100,000, $1 million per Bitcoin, and it looks as if that may actually happen in the long term, especially if US debt cannot get under control and it causes a cascading effect across the economy and the world. Okay, so let me look at this on the 30-minute chart. And if Wall Street is just finally getting prepared to participate in this run up in Bitcoin, the price is right now at $66,777. Yeah, it might be expensive right now to you, but if this is just the beginning, We haven't seen nothing yet. So let me just go ahead and just extend it to 80,000, right? Because I don't know. Hitting all-time highs into the market is very unsuspecting as to how far price is going to go. So yeah, we just do that. Anything within our price target area would just be TP. But this is a very, very demanding asset right now. And some people may want to wait until price comes back down to at least a cheaper price point, because right now this thing is taking off. But give me your thoughts. Make sure you maintain the profitability. And as always, trade different.